Well, welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. This is your everyday Rangers news channel. I'm Mary James, and this is all your latest news, guys. It's difficult to kind of, make anything of last night. I don't know whether you call it a no-win situation or what you call it, but Rangers did have no win, I guess. But look, I suppose you deal with the positives first. We're through. A massive positive that we're through to the next round of the Champions League, the playoff round of the Champions League, where we'll place Club Bruges, who will obviously take a massive test for this club. Bruges are a very good side, as we saw at Ibrox, and for the first half completely outplayed us. So it'll be a tough test. Of course it will. Bruges are an excellent side, a side that did very well in the Champions League last year, of course. But we'll talk about that closer to the time. Look, it's so difficult. It's kind of like a conflicting emotion tonight. You know, over the moon that we're through, of course. Positive, massively positive that we got through. That we're in the playoff round. But obviously massive positive about Lyle Cameron. I thought obviously he scores his goal. Lyle Cameron was by far the biggest, well, one of the two shining lights from tonight's game. I thought Cameron was positive with the ball. He was always looking to make forward runs. He was always looking to offer for the ball. Even though at times when he was making forward runs, the rest of the team seemed to be intent on turning around and passing backwards or sideways all the time, rather than playing the positive pass to Cameron. But Cameron was excellent, was really good. I thought he played very well indeed. Jack Butland was fantastic yet again. Yes, his distribution was pretty poor, but his saves kept us in the game. He pulled off some world-class saves. His shot stopping was absolutely excellent. So you've got to give Jack Butland some credit for his saves, certainly. As for the rest of the performance, it was dire, absolutely dire. Slow, cumbersome, boring, dross, no style, no shape, no progression. And look, you can talk about that's how we need time, but they need time. Yes, but where's the progress? Where's the style? You know, Russell Martin talked about, you know, wanting to see that aggression with the ball, the speed of possession, the speed of passing. None of that was evident tonight. None of that was there. It was so bad. It was genuinely appalling. Again, there was just no positive aggression going forward. There was no creativity there. We had 51% of the possession, yet only 9 shots on target. They had 49% of possession and had 27 shots on target, 3 times our shots. Their XG was 3.3, the second worst in Rangers history. Even Rangers lost 7-1 to Liverpool. Liverpool had 2.7 XG. That's how bad it genuinely was. The defence was absolutely appalling. Thank God for Jack Butland. Hiefte looked awful. Diving in, he was to blame for the first goal. Gigo and Suter were poor. Tav was probably the best defender of the 4, but still was fairly shite. Genuinely, there's no player obviously other than Cameron and Butland that comes away from tonight with pass marks. The 2 wingers were anonymous. Dessa's got himself injured, but before he got injured, Dessa spent most of his time rolling around on the ground, diving, throwing himself on the ground, just genuinely just wasting time and just genuinely played awful. I mean, stay on your feet. You're a big, aggressive, strong striker. And when you put yourself about, when you're aggressive, when you get in people's faces, that's when you cause more trouble. And he didn't do that tonight. He spent more time worrying about rolling around and throwing himself to the deck than he did even trying to beat a striker. Like I said, the style of play tonight was just genuinely awful. It was dross. And it's kind of an extension of what we've seen in the league. I mean, yes, we're through, and I think that's all largely down to that fantastic performance, you know, last week in the 3-0 victory at Ibrox. You know, we've played, 5-6 games now, 4 European, 2 domestic, and realistically we've played 2 good games, 1.5 good games, 1.5 good games out of 6, in the 3-0 against Plitzen, and the second half against Panathinaikos, and even then it was a bit of a dodge one because they held out of 10 men. So we've effectively played 1.25 good games in a way. But you know, once again, there was just no leadership out there. There was just nothing positive about that side at all. And I'm getting pretty bored and fed up of talking about Rangers in such a negative way. Just constant, boring, dull, dross football. And why is it whenever we get to about the halfway line, the default setting of all of our players, whether it be a midfielder, a defender, whatever it is, they get to halfway, they stop, they look up, They turn round, they pass backwards, or they go sideways. It's horseshoe football. It's boring. Russell Martins has no plan B. You know, the changes, the Bayrami change made a bit of difference. Bayrami actually looked to get us on the front foot, looked to take the ball forward, didn't look that bad. But you've got to say that there's no plan B. Mine has no plan B. His plan B is to do plan A, but with different players. A bit Philippe Clement-esque in the way he does it. It genuinely was just awful again from Rangers. Really poor. And Russell Martin, again, just put a team out there with no clue. They didn't look like they knew what they were meant to be doing. They didn't look like how they were meant to be playing. Genuinely, they're confused. They look like a team that was very badly coached. And as someone who is a coach, if you see a team running around there, not really knowing what they're meant to do with the ball, how they're meant to attack, how they're meant to organise, where they're meant to be playing, how they're meant to be playing in that spot, that's down to bad coaching. And Russell Martin's done a fucking shocking job tonight, again. And you can talk about being disappointed at the result and disappointed with conceding so many chances, but the defence was awful, the midfield was dire, and the front three was just not even there. I mean, even Gassama tonight was a waste of space. Ant-Man, another one, waste of space tonight. Danilo came on, made very little difference. Honestly, guys, that was dire from Rangers. Dire last night. Absolutely dire. Look, we're back with a bit of a longer video. Just wanted to put a reaction to come out this morning. Let me know what you think. Genuinely, I think we'll get absolutely smashed by Bruges. I genuinely do. Because that tonight was dross. And yet, you're supposed to be happy because we got through. But you don't feel that way because it was such a bad performance. And another bad performance on another bad performance. With just a team that looked clueless. And that's down to the manager. End of story. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.